Good afternoon. My name is Luis Granados. I'm the CEO of the Mission Economic Development Agency. We are the co-developers and owners of this beautiful, beautiful building. Thank you to all of you for gathering for this great occasion to celebrate the grand opening of Casa Adelante 681 Florida. This project is yet another win for affordable housing in the Mission District and the city of San Francisco. It is the result of years of work in partnership with Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation, Supervisor Hillary Ronin's office, Mayor London Breed and her team, our friends from Wells Fargo, the California Department of Housing and Community Development, and many other amazing organizations. Casa Adelante 681 Florida is now a mainstay and permanent fixture for affordable housing in San Francisco's Mission District. This project has 130 family-friendly homes, including 39 homes for the formerly unhoused. In addition to the housing, it will be the permanent home for Carnaval San Francisco, a true San Francisco institution. This will be the 9th community-based organization that is housed in one of MEDA's buildings and continues the strategy of cultural placekeeping to ensure that the Mission never loses its history of Latino culture and arts. Casa Adelante 681 Florida was a community space before becoming housing, and a community space it will remain permanently. So we know that much of what we do is about living our values. Audacity and togetherness are two of MEDA's core values. This project will not be here today if collectively we did not have the audacity to dream of what could be and should be, of the audacity to fight for what we think is right and just. Also, today is about togetherness. Look around. We are here celebrating together how this housing and this community space will serve families and community members who are often underserved and underrepresented. Again, the core of our work comes down to the people who now call Casa Adelante 681 Florida their permanent home. Again, I want to share my gratitude to all of those who contributed to making this building happen. Specifically, I want to thank Mayor Breed. Thank you, Mayor. Whose administration has been key in ensuring that affordable housing in the Mission remains a priority right now and for the future. This includes her leadership in making sure that buildings like this one become a reality each and every day. Also, she has been a true champion for the Small Sites program, which has allowed us to purchase 38 apartment buildings and saved over 300 families from eviction in this neighborhood. Thank you, Mayor Breed. Thank you. I also want to thank our MEDA Board of Directors for their trust, for providing great care, guidance, and support as we dare to become an affordable housing developer, taking many, many risks along the way. Thank you, MEDA Board. Finally, I must thank our Meta team. They now provide services to over 17,000 people per year in this neighborhood. Our staff shows a remarkable ability to be audacious by adapting and pivoting to meet the needs of our community at any moment. This includes providing key services before, during, and after the pandemic, ensuring that our businesses have access to technical assistance and capital, rehabilitating existing apartment buildings and building new buildings like this one, creating spaces for community organizations that are no longer threatened by eviction. You name it. Meta staff always steps up to support this community. Thank you, Meta team. At the end of the day, we'll do this work because of the people living here, our residents, our community. And now it's my great pleasure, it is my great pleasure, I have to say, to introduce you to Dolores Romero, a woman who calls this building, Casa Delante, 681 Florida, her permanent home. Dolores.
Buenas tardes a todos. Bienvenida, señora alcaldesa.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Mayor Linda Breed, welcome.
Mi nombre es Dolores Romero. Soy originaria de El Salvador. Vine a este lindo país hace muchísimos años.
My name is Dolores Romero. I'm originally from El Salvador. I'm 77 years old, and I've worked and lived in San Francisco for many years.
Trabajé muy duro para poder traer a mis dos hijos. Trabajé en un restaurante mexicano por 20 años, entrando a las 6 y saliendo a las 5 de la mañana.
I've worked really hard to bring my two children to this country, and I've worked at a Mexican restaurant before, and getting there at 6 p.m. and finishing up at 5 a.m.
Mi dirección anterior era en la 20 y Valencia. Vivía en el tercer piso. Tenía que subir 42 gradas para llegar a mi apartamento.
I used to live on 20th and Valencia for 35 years. I used to go 3 flights of stairs every day, and I count the steps, 42 steps.
Cuando llegué a ese lugar, pues tenía mucha energía. Pero me dieron una sorpresa en el 2018 que fui diagnosticada con cáncer.
When I got to 20th and Valencia, I was full of energy, and that was good. But in 2008, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Fue muy doloroso para mí, porque me fue muy difícil subir esas gradas.
It was very hard for me because it was very difficult after a huge operation procedure to go up those 3 flights of stairs.
Tenía que subirlas y bajarlas sentada
I needed to go up and down, sitting down.
por mucho tiempo. Pero soy triunfadora del cáncer. Pero en el año 2020 me vino otra prueba muy dura, que fue el COVID. Tuve 6 meses en el hospital.
Yeah. But in 2020, COVID came, and I was in the hospital for a total of 6 months.
Y cuando salí del hospital, no pude subir las gradas porque quedé sin energía. Debido al COVID, uso esta andadera porque no tengo fuerzas en mis piernas. Me tuve que ir a vivir con mi hija, que allí sí había ascensor.
After COVID, after those 6 months, I didn't recover fully, and I couldn't go up the 3 flights of stairs. I had to move with my daughter for a total of 4 months because I couldn't do it, and I needed the elevator at her apartment.
Regresé a mi casa y lo mismo. Sentada, subía las gradas y sentada las bajaba.
But I continued to go up those 3 flights of stairs, sitting down, and I would come down sitting down as well.
Me caí 3 veces de las gradas, pero Dios fue tan lindo conmigo. Que Dios bendiga a MEDA y todas las organizaciones.
I fell 3 times going up and down the stairs, but I thank God, thank Meta, TNDC, and all the other organizations involved in this project.
Después de esa prueba tan dura del COVID, el año pasado, en marzo, me dieron esa gran sorpresa que desde el año 2018 yo estuve aplicando en diferentes programas y no me daban la oportunidad de cambiarme.
But after COVID, after applying since 2008 for housing, on March 2022, they let me know that I won the lottery.
Pero el año pasado, en marzo, me dieron esa gran sorpresa, que la señorita Verónica de Meda me llama y me dice: Dolores, te sacaste la lotería. ¿Cuál lotería? Si no he comprado ningún ticket.
Yeah, on March 2022, Veronica from Meta called her letting her know she won the lottery. She was confused and shocked because she didn't buy a ticket.
Y entonces me dice: no, fue la lotería. ¿Cuál lotería? La que tú pusiste aplicación para los apartamentos. Oh my God.
But no, it was the lottery for my future home.
Y para octubre me volvieron a llamar y me dijeron que viniera a recoger la llave. Para mí no fue una llave, para mí fue una corona que me dieron, porque yo en este lugar me siento como una reina. Este bello edificio, el personal que aquí trabaja son muy atentos con todos nosotros. Así es que, gracias, señora alcaldesa, gracias a todas estas organizaciones y las personas que son invitadas, que ayuden a apoyar estos programas. Que Dios bendiga a las personas que ayudan económicamente, en ciertas maneras, que nos hacen que nosotras, las de tercera edad, seamos, que nos levantamos y nos sentimos teenagers. Que Dios bendiga América.
On October of 2022, they told me to come pick up my key. She said she didn't feel like she was picking up a key. She felt like she was picking up a crown because she feels like a queen now here at home. She wants to thank all the organizations involved to make this happen, and I hope that everyone continues to support what we're doing to keep people housed. And thank you, everyone, again.
Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Pedro Galvao, Deputy Director of Legislation at the California Department of Housing and Community Development.
Señora Dolores, muchísimas gracias por compartir su historia con nosotros. Estoy muy honrado de estar aquí en su casa con usted. Muchas gracias. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pedro Galvan, Deputy Director at the Department of Housing and Community Development, and it is a great honor to be here today. I want to congratulate the community and our partners today at MEDA and TNDC for this tremendous building and this beautiful community that they have built with 130 new affordable homes. This project includes homes that are affordable for people who experienced homelessness. It includes 2 community spaces and sustainable agriculture on the roof. And Casa Adelante is a model for how housing can be built to be affordable, environmentally sustainable, and socially responsible. I also want to thank Madam Mayor. On behalf of Director Velasquez and the Newsom administration and myself, it is my honor to join you here in the heart of the city to celebrate Casa Adelante and to thank you for your continued support of affordable housing here and throughout your city. It's with partners like you that we make buildings like this happen, so thank you. Thank you also to Supervisor Ronan for your leadership and continuing to push for more affordable housing here in the Mission and throughout the city. And I also want to acknowledge the work of my partners at the state level with the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee and the Debt Limit Allocation Committee for providing the investments to make this possible. It is with great joy that I say that the Department of Housing and Community Development is proud to have invested $14 million in this project. As I said, this is exactly the type of project that we want to fund. To share a little bit about why I feel personally connected here, my own family immigrated to the United States from Brazil, and when I was young, we struggled to find stable housing. Eventually, we did. It wasn't affordable, but it was stable, and it gave me the stability that I needed to study and to actually eventually be here speaking to you all today. And this is an amazing opportunity that this building is providing to all 130 families that live here, but also the families that are going to be here in the future. Places like these are key to maintaining a stable Mission, making sure that there continues to be art, that neighbors continue to be in their neighborhood. And I know that having a place like this would have made a tremendous difference to my family had we had the opportunity. And I am so glad that Senora Dolores has this opportunity and that so many other families will get to enjoy this permanent affordable housing. And that is why affordable housing continues to be such a critical investment for the administration of Governor Newsom. This administration has invested over $20 billion in affordable housing since it started, and we have built over 10,000 units, and there's another 45,000 affordable housing units on their way. Collectively, these are, thank you. And collectively, these units are going to provide homes for nearly 1 million people through their useful life. And more than 1 million people need affordable homes in California, but it's a significant start, and we need the help of you all to continue building on that momentum. And so, thank you all for having us. Thank you for building this beautiful community. And it is with great pleasure that I introduce Roberto Hernandez, a community member here who's the Executive Director of Cana SF, as well as the founder of Mission Food Hub that has provided a lifeline to hundreds of families here in the Mission with culturally appropriate groceries. Thank you all so much. Muchísimas gracias.
Buenas tardes. For those who do not know Spanish, good afternoon. ¿Verdad? Este día es un día muy bonito. Este día es mucha alegría, ¿verdad? Es una grande bendición que nos ha dado Dios el Creador. First of all, I want to acknowledge a whole bunch of people. And I want to start with Jonathan. Where's Jonathan at from South Space? Come here, Jonathan. This brother, I got to tell you a story, man. He came to our neighborhood and he started Cell Space. Cell Space was one of the most beautiful spaces that we had here in our community, where Carnaval, Loco Bloco, the danzantes who were here earlier, who did the blessing, the flamenco group, theater groups, all kinds of artists where it was a communal space, and it was thriving 7 days a week, and sometimes 24 hours a day, and nobody ever shut us down because we were making noise, right? But it was fun noise because it brought young people, it brought children, it brought community together. So thank you, my brother. I just want to honor and tell you I love you.
I love you too,
All right,
brother.
thank you. And then unfortunately, the story goes sideways. All of a sudden, tech came to our city, which had its, riches and wealthy people coming. But for some reason, they decided they wanted to live in this little barrio, in this little ghetto, in this little village that we've been existing, right? And they wanted a urban culture experience, but they gentrified us in a violent way, where we had over 10,000 people who were evicted, and a lot of them were left homeless. So we didn't sit back as a community. We organized and organized and organized. We created Save the Mission, and I want Peter to come up here. I want Dario to come up here. I want Kelly to come here. Larissa, come here, man. I'm calling you out. Don't sit. Come on, Dario. And Rodrigo, come here, Rodrigo. And where's Larissa? Come on. And this is, where's she at? Okay, she went back. She'll be here. And we created an army. Armando, come here. Armando was another one. Come here. And anybody else who was part of our mission, no eviction. How do we say? Our mission? No eviction. Our mission? And we did. We organized and we organized and we organized, and we created Save the Mission. And we organized and we demanded that all these developers that were coming here had a responsibility to give back to our community. And in this space here, we fought and fought and fought against the developer. And he wanted the planning commission by one vote. We were sure, but we appealed that to the board of supervisors, and he didn't realize that we had the power of the people and we had the votes at the board of supervisors. Yeah, huevo. He had to give us his space, and justice was served. So I want to thank all of you. From mi corazón. I love you all. Thank you for being the warriors. It was the guerrilleros y las guerrilleras that organized. And that was over 3,000 of us that would get up and we would march and do whatever it took. I just really believe that, we called this space the Beast on Bryant. And now it's what do we call it? Beauty. The Beauty on Bryant. Right? The Beauty on Bryant. I wanted to do today to thank the Creator, because a lot of times, we have fear and we have doubts, and it takes time. And some people don't have the patience to continue to fight, but I always said, we got to believe in the Creator, we got to believe in the universe, and we got to come together and stay together no matter what, and stay strong. And that's what was the warrior saying, Mary? Numbers and what? Strength in numbers. Thank you, Mary Bree. Strength in numbers, and that's what it's gotten us through, and be able to build and celebrate today. But I want to honor all the, and just take a moment's silence, because I fought with him like you won't believe. But I just want to honor and thank, and may his soul rest in peace, Mayor Ed Lee. Because not only did we get the space, but we went and met with Mayor Ed Lee, and we said, you have to come up with the money to build the housing. We just don't want a piece of land from this developer. We need the money, and he did. He came up with money. He found it within 72 hours. I don't know what couch or people put money under their mattresses, or in their closet or in their backyards. But he found the money, you know what I'm saying? And that was the beginning of help making this happen. And then I want to thank MEDA, and I want to thank TNDC for coming together, and marrying. It was a marriage, tell me, right? Se casaron. It was con arroz con frijoles. They call it casamiento, ¿verdad? Casamiento, se casaron. Yeah, ¿verdad? And they came together and they made it happen here in our community. And that's the most beautiful thing, is for community to take responsibility for itself and do things for itself, of course, with the help of many. I want to thank all the artists that, were displaced. you know, but continued, and we were able to work with them. And I want to thank the people that entrusted our organization, Cana, which is the organization that produces the carnival, and entrusted us in creating the space next door, which will be La Casa de Carnaval. But most important, because of the lessons that we learned during the pandemic, that the mental health of a lot of our people who economically were broke, their mental health was affected. So we decided to take a right turn and not only make it the Casa de Carnaval, but also the Indigenous Peoples Cultural Arts Healing Center. So with that, I want to end by because I come from an organizing background. Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta raised me, and when we gather and we have a victory, we clap together. So I'm going to ask you to put your hands together, and we're going to start real slow. Those of you who have not done it, but those of you who know how to do it, we're going to do it. We're going to go real slow, and then we're going to speed it up. And let me end by saying, you know what, we usually say, si se puede, but today we're going to say, I'm going to start it off, I'm going to say, si se pudo. Si se pudo? Si se pudo? Si se pudo? And with that, I want to, it's a great honor of mine to introduce an amazing woman who, like I, grew up in a barrio. She grew up in the ghetto and made her way through school against all odds, put herself through college, became elected to the Board of Supervisors, and now has and will continue being our mayor of San Francisco. Please help welcome Mayor London Breed. I call it LB.
Thank you, Roberto, and thank you all so much for joining us here today. You know, this is really exciting, and I never thought we would get to this place this quickly, even though it's been a really long time. But Roberto, you remember when we were riding through the Mission, and I want to say it was right before I became mayor. And Roberto and I talked about some of the challenges and also some of the properties that we could identify that we needed to purchase because of the investments that the city needed to make in providing housing to make up for a lot of the evictions and a lot of the issues that were occurring in this community. And it had a lot to do with, our bond came because what was happening in the Mission actually happened in the community that I grew up in the Fillmore Western Addition. And it was important to him and this community that we don't repeat the same mistakes of the past. And so when we were riding through the Mission, we were talking about these various properties, and you knew all the owners, you knew all the different developers and what was going on. And I was so grateful to come together and to collaborate and strategize and, in fact, be able to purchase some of these various properties and to work with our state partners to get the resources necessary to make sure that we were able to get these places built. Because you're right, purchasing the land is one thing, but building the housing is quite something different. And it does take a village. It takes a village to make things like this happen in our city. And one of the things I'm really proud of with this project, it wasn't just about building a building and hitting the lottery. Ms. Romero talking about hitting the lottery. Well, people would hit the lottery, but it wouldn't be people from this community. And what was really important to us, and when I served as a member of the Board of Supervisors, is our neighborhood preference legislation. And making sure that when we build buildings like this, that the people who live here get the right of first refusal for the new buildings built in the community that they have blood, sweat, and tears in. And that's what happened in this particular case. So it takes a village. And Meta has been a pillar of this community for decades. And I gotta say, Luis, I'm so proud of the work that Meta's doing under your leadership, not just with the new development, but also the buildings that we were able to acquire through the Small Sites Acquisition Program. Luis has had to increase the capacity of Meta to make sure that the support was there. And working together and providing the resources to do that has been really transformative in this community. So we are grateful for the protections of the people who are in those existing buildings, but also incredibly proud of the work that we're doing for new places like where we are today that serve for the next generation of people and those who need a safe, affordable place to call home without stairs so that they can get around. So this is so amazing for so many of the people and families who live here. And I also want to just give a special shout out to our governor and to the California Department of Housing and Community Development. Thank you, Pedro, for being here. And Gustavo, who he answers to, you guys, is running this department. And he's usually always here at these events. The state, with our partnership with the governor, has invested so much money into San Francisco for Project Home Key to purchase buildings to help people who are struggling with homelessness, to help us build new buildings like the one we're in today, and all the various resources we need because we have underinvested in housing for so long that the crisis of homelessness in the state of California, which exists here in San Francisco as well, is something that we have to reckon with dollars so that we can get moving and building and acquiring properties as quickly as possible. So we are grateful to the governor for his work, his advocacy, and the department for all the amazing investments that have come to San Francisco. And I want to say to TNDC, which you'll hear from in just a minute, thank you for being a great partner in housing too. Working with Meta on this project, but working on so many other projects that truly serve some of the most vulnerable residents in San Francisco. We could not do this work without partners like Meta and TNDC because they are the ones on the ground working with the community to provide places like this. And I gotta say, it just fills my heart with joy every time I come to an event like this. People say, Mayor, the city, all kinds of stuff is going on and a ribbon cutting, that's not doing anything. Well, you know what? This ribbon cutting today, it's doing something for the 130 families that moved into this building. This ribbon cutting is about the blood, sweat, and tears that went into providing this as an opportunity for those families in the first place, of this community that fought hard to ensure that this building was available to low-income individuals and families. This means something to the people who are working here every single day to make sure that there are also services and support necessary to ensure the success of the people living in this building. And this building means everything because Carnival is an institution in our city, and the tradition of Carnival has to continue for generations to come. So this building is meaningful, and it will be an incredible beacon of hope for, I know, the people who live here, who I've already met, but also the children who are growing up here and the community and what it all represents. So I am grateful and excited about what this means. And I want to thank everyone that had a role, even if it's, placing the tiles correctly so that the design looks good in that work, or the lighting fixtures and the people who are at the front desk working, the janitors, the mail clerks, the community as a whole, because it takes a village. And Casa Adelante, how do you say it? Adelante represents our community values in San Francisco at their very best. So welcome home to all the families and the people who are here, and thank you for this great celebration. And Luis, the best is yet to come.
Buenas Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ana Herrera. I am a legislative aide to Supervisor Ronen, and I need to speak louder. And I woke up this morning not expecting to do this, but unfortunately Supervisor Ronen couldn't be here today. We're in the thick of budget right now, as you know, so she's in Budget and Appropriations Committee. So she apologizes for not being able to be here, but I am here pinch hitting on her behalf and just here to really celebrate this amazing accomplishment and milestone here in the mission. There's been a lot of negativity and punching down of this incredible community in the news lately, and it's really important that we're able to come together to celebrate this milestone with Mayor Breed, with TNDC, with MEDA, with all our community partners who made this happen. Because we know what the mission is about arts, community, and having actual affordable housing for someone like the señora who is here today, and the struggle to make that happen. So I know we are hungry, so I just want to lift that up and thank you all for being here, and thank you for everyone who made it happen. And now I would like to introduce Greg Shurkin, the Wells Fargo Senior Vice President of Philanthropy and Community Impact.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Wells Fargo, my colleagues who are here today, Alfredo Pedroza, Lorenzo Cordova, Katie Fitzsimmons, and all of our employees in San Francisco, I just want to say what a tremendous honor it is to be a part of this incredible project. Congratulations to everyone involved. Wells Fargo is so proud to be a lender and a community partner and able to help bring this much-needed housing to this incredible community. Though Mayor Breed just left, I wanted to also extend a sincere thank you to her, as well as Anna, to the supervisor, as well as Pedro, to you, and as well as Luis and Murillo and Roberto and everybody who is involved, just for your tireless efforts, not only on this project, but to do so much throughout for this community and for this city, which is honestly where we live and work as well. And really what you do is a testament to what makes San Francisco such a special place, and able to support incredible people like Dolores, who spoke so incredibly today. You're such an inspiration, Dolores. So please know that we are prepared to continue to support this project, this community, and this city. We realize that we're facing a lot of challenges right now, and as the mayor said, it really does take a village, and we at Wells Fargo want to be part of this community, part of this village, and we are committed to do whatever it takes to help the people here reach their potential. So thank you all very much for your time. And now I have the tremendous honor to introduce Murillo from TNDC. They are an incredible partner, as you well know. We've worked with them for years, and we look forward to continuing to do so. So Murillo, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Greg. I'm actually going to give some of my time to someone that has been really passionate about this project, makes us all look dynamic and great, and is a big part of why we're here today. Colleen, can you come up?
Thanks, Murillo. I will keep this fairly short. So I had the great privilege of getting to be one of the many, many people who worked on the 681 Florida project. We've had a strong development partner in Meta, with a special shout out to Jose Garcia, my co-project manager, who stepped in seamlessly on this job, and of course to complete the project management trifecta from TNDC Esther Kim down there, our final co-project manager, who together this all just worked. To the City of San Francisco and our lenders, MoCD, HCD, CCRC, the Federal Home Loan Bank, and Wells Fargo, thank you so much for getting us to this point where we have 130 units of gorgeous, quality, affordable housing right here in the Mission. Our amazing contractor team, somewhere in this crowd, Cahill Contractors and Guzman Construction, what a gem of a team. We couldn't have done it without Matt, Noel, Philly, Fernando, Diego, Ryan, Miguel, and countless union tradesmen and tradeswomen, thank you. Our incredible design team at Methuen, Joyce and Logan, also somewhere hidden in this crowd, adapting and problem solving every step of the way. And of course, the incredible TNDC property management, compliance, accounting, and social work staff that leased up this building and make it all work every day. If you haven't already met Deja, Craig, Jessica, Gustavo, Carlos, or the rest of the lovely property management and services staff here, we owe them all infinite coffees and then some for the immense amount of work they put into serving our tenants. Just know that there are countless people I can't even begin to fit into this speech that have contributed so much to this project from start to finish. And we really aren't joking when we keep saying the words, "It takes a village." As you may have already noticed in walking around the building, art is at the core of what makes this building really special. Cece, Josue, and Miguel, who I don't know if they're here today, they're the three artists that spent countless hours adorning the exterior walls with artwork generated from direct community feedback. SFUSD high schoolers with Youth Art Exchange worked with our partners at Kana to create the custom ornamental gate that's just right next door. And then Kana, along with the community, fought years ago to ensure that spaces like this would and could be dedicated affordable and accessible space for housing, the community, and the arts. It is never lost on me that this is a place of new beginnings for many of the individuals and families who live here. As a San Francisco native, San Francisco is what will always represent home for me in the way that hugging a warm blanket on a cold day feels. To all of our residents, current and future at 681 Florida, welcome home.
Thank you, Colleen. And I will promise you we're almost home, folks. My name is Maurilio Leon, and I am the CEO of TNDC, a housing and community development organization building and serving communities throughout San Francisco. That's right. This past weekend, Gus Newport, the former mayor of Berkeley, passed. And I wanted to take just a few minutes to bring him in spirit here today. Because Gus was a mentor to many. Gus was an inspiration to many more. But Gus was my friend. And one of the things he always taught me, and one of the things he actually made me realize, is the importance of listening. And many times to listen, not for what is said, but also for what is not said. 681 is an example of both those things, of what has been said and what hasn't been said. And in the spirit of community, and in the spirit of the mission, I could be no prouder than this moment, because this is the manifestation. This is the spirit. This is the corazón that we all work so hard to create day in and day out. I would like to acknowledge for TNDC, all the staff, all of our partners, our board of directors, that allow us to do the work that we so passionately do and do well. We built this community. We'll build more. Si se puede, si se pudo, let's get to ribbon cutting.
We are going to have both of you hold one side of the scissors, and you're both going to cut it.
Yeah, in front of the podium.
Right here. I'm going to have you, Aurelio, right in the middle. And you both combine it with the, podium, that would be wonderful. Yep. Okay, yep. All of you, I'm going to have you line up. Sorry. And we're going to have you right here. Yeah, that's fine. It's nothing personal. It's just for the photo. Sorry. All of our speakers, I'm going to have all of you like comfort. Yes.
What kind of go for it, guys?
Here we go.
What's that long way to do this? Start with that?
Not good. So for the